Today we are going to continue learning about verbs, specifically the ones that come from list 10, and the patterns that help you to use them. Now, last time we learned about yo and tu with verbs. Yo meaning I, and tu meaning you. Now, last time we learned that when yo is doing the action of a verb, it will end in the letter O. For example, yo leo, I read. And as you can see, there is the O at the end. That's the pattern for yo. We also learned that when tu is doing the action of a verb, it will end in the letter S. For example, tu lees. And again, there is that S, which is the pattern for tu. This time, we're going to be learning about when él, ella, and usted are doing the action of a verb. Now, just to remind you, él means he, ella means she, and usted means you if you are talking to a grown-up. Now, when él, ella, and usted are doing the action of a verb, it will end in either A or E. It just kind of depends upon the verb. And those here are two examples. Ella prepara, she prepares, and ella escribe, she writes. Here you can see there is that A pattern and the E pattern. A good way to remember that is a rhyme. He or she uses A or E. Now, down at the bottom here, we have 6 sentences that you're going to do the same type of thing that you did before. You're going to use the patterns that you learned to complete the sentences. Then you are going to write the sentences in English underneath. As usual, please, no translators, no notes, or no other resources are to be used. If any of them are used, it very well may result in a failing grade for you, so best to avoid them. And again, as always, please don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're tempted to use a translator or notes or something else, that is the time to ask questions. I will again be popping in and out of your Google Doc to offer you feedback and to maybe suggest some edits. Now, here is an example that you can use to get started. And it's very similar to the example that we used last time. You have a sentence just like the ones below. You have yo, your subject, and then in parentheses you have a verb from list 10, and then the rest of your sentence. Here you have yo, and then preparar, and la comida. So what you're going to do is start off with your sentence here. Your subject's not going to change. And then you have that verb from list 10. That would be a whole lot better if I spelled correctly. In parentheses, and then the rest of your sentence. So what we're going to do is take that word, that verb that's in parentheses, and apply the pattern. Again, you start off by removing the A and the R, and then you check your subject. Your subject right there is yo. Now, if you remember earlier, we talked about how yo goes with the pattern of the word ending in the letter O. So now that you have removed the A and the R, you're going to put the letter O for your pattern, and then the rest of the sentence. After you've done that, underneath, you write the sentence in English. Yo means I, preparo means prepare, la means the, and comida means food. Finished. Now remember, you have the patterns that you've already used with yo, and with tu, but we added a new one. So keep your eyes open for anything that is el, ella, and usted, because that is going to use the pattern of a or e. If you're wondering how you're going to tell the difference when to use a and when to use e, you can look here at the end. Again, our example, and also number 1, you have them ending in AR. You have them ending in AR, they will use A. You also have some words that end in either IR or ER. If that's the case, those will use E. So, again, if you have any problems, let me know, and I will be able to answer any questions for you. Adios.
Adios, amigos.